Hello, D-Rock here. Welcome to the channel. Sometime around 1100 to 1150 AD, the ancestral Puebloans of the Colorado Plateau began building lots of their dwellings and food storage in hard-to-get-to canyon alcoves. Is that year exact? Perhaps. Building in hard-to-reach areas in canyons may have begun earlier than that. However, using tree ring dating, which is said to be very accurate, archaeologists were able to get fairly precise dates of building at Chaco Canyon and Mesa Verde. Trees had been cut and used in the building process of the great structures at those incredible sites. So, using the tree ring dating process, archaeologists were able to get a timeline of construction. Pretty cool. So perhaps using that knowledge, a fairly broad brush was used to just say that major cliff dwelling sites across the Colorado Plateau began around that time, 1100 to 1150 AD. So why build a home in a hard-to-reach place such as the side of a cliff? It's a very good question, and there's lots of speculation about that. Some say the people were hiding. Hiding from who or what? Some say the dwellings were for defense from invading groups. Another thought is that it was easier to protect corn harvests by storing the corn in granaries in the cliffs. Every critter you can imagine would have been trying to get at those food stores. Maybe it's a combination of all of it. We'll never really know. Years ago, I got word of some extremely well-preserved cliff dwellings deep in a remote canyon. So while stuck in bed with the flu recently, I had some time to do some research, and I decided to go out and search for these ruins. I figured I could find them. Presumably, these ruins date back to that time period of almost 900 years ago. So please join me as I head out into the desert to search for what once was. Whew. It is freezing. Cold morning. That's good though. This is why I'm out here today. This is like the coldest day of the week, and the wind's supposed to howl today. So reasoning behind coming out today is it's going to keep the rattlesnakes down, and I know there's plenty of them out here. So we're getting to that point of the year as we're getting into spring, later spring. All the critters are coming out, so I got to be a little more careful when I'm tromping through the brush. So I chose the coldest day to come out and try this trip here in the hopes that I wouldn't encounter any snakes, but it's going to warm up pretty quick once that sun gets up behind me. Well, there's the sun. I'll warm up now. I just had to walk all the way back. I thought I left my headlights on. That's how the day's going to begin. Up and up we go. Whew. Started down there. Still got a ways to go till I get to the top though. And I'm warm. I gotta lose the coat. So I think I got like 8 miles today. It's a good amount of walking. And a lot of that's gonna be in sand. Man, I'll tell you what, I can't tell you how stoked I am about that.
So I got all that country in front of me. So I made it to the top, and now I got a cross-country jaunt of miles just through the sand. I gotta kind of follow the rim of a canyon, and that's gonna lead me to another canyon where I believe the ruins are. So this is gonna be a bit monotonous at this point, just grinding away in the sand. But you know, that's the price. That's the price of admission, right? Whew, beautiful morning. Wasn't bad getting to the top. A little sweat, that's about it. But yeah, got a breeze right now. It's supposed to get to like 20 miles per hour, so it should be howling by this afternoon, which is good. On the way back, it'll be nice and cool. So you know, this is working out pretty good so far. So if I can find the ruins, then it'll be a perfect day.
All right, so it's been a few miles now, and I'm past the canyon. I'm crossing the juniper forest. Excuse me. And I need to stop and calorie up, keep that energy going.
Okay, well, it appears I've reached the canyon. Yeah. This should take a minute. Almost there. This is going to be fantastic. I think I got a route down. It's steep and kind of dangerous, but that's all right. Here we go. Well, the first thing to point out is the fact that there's a spring here. So that would definitely be a good place to put your dwelling. Wow, this is extremely impressive. So there's a lot to see in here, and I'm just going to take it slow, so enjoy. This is incredible. I could sit here all day. So, now I can't be 100% sure. Of course, I'm not a professional, but I believe this may be a Kiva right here. It's going into the ground. I'm sure this was probably covered at one point. And these might be dwellings here with some granaries off to the side that are no longer still together. They're crumbled or they got busted open. I don't know, but this is pretty remarkable to still be out like this. I mean, look at the windows. I mean, this took a little thought. Obviously, you can see in here how a pole came out, extended. This probably, you can see right here too, there was probably something that extended out because the sun's going to come across. It's about to light this whole place up. So there would have been a roof out here, I'm thinking, and you could have sat in here and done whatever normal life chores you would be involved with. But look at the detail. This is just absolutely remarkable. And you can see the blackened. So lots of fires in here. These might have been individual rooms, but just absolutely fantastic. Lots of fires in here. Look at this. You can even see right here. This is where someone using their hands to pack in the clay. This is all clay. You can see where their fingers went across here as they spread the clay in. This is incredible. And this is going to be in the sunlight soon. Man, even look at this one. It's like rounded. And here's some remnants. Might have been some granaries stuck in right here. I'm not sure, but this is about as awesome as it comes. To even get a little tiny window on this side. You can have a look, see what's going on. Yeah, I'm thinking this was a pretty big dwelling right here. Family probably lived in here. There's your Kiva. Man, this place is pretty impressive. As far as how old this is, well, it's easy enough to say that this is from the Ancestral Puebloan era. So it's probably either 1200 AD on back, sometime in that period. So it's at least, probably at least 800 years old, maybe 1,000. I think the Colorado Plateau was essentially abandoned by 1300 AD, or so they say. So, yeah, it's old, still standing. And it's just, I love seeing where you can notice that someone had their hands in the clay, spreading the clay. That's just, it's a human connection, you know, straight to the past, window to the past right there. But I'm not seeing any rock art in here. I haven't really examined the walls on the other side, but there's nothing, which is interesting. You'd think, obviously people lived, they spent significant time here. There'd be rock art on the walls, but there's not. So that's interesting. I'm sure somewhere in these canyons there's probably quite a bit of rock art, but not right here. Not by the ruins anyway. Oh, here we go. There's your corn cobs. Yep.
say their corn wasn't big, but it was their way of life. Corn was life for the ancestral Puebloans. It was the food staple. Everything else was added to support it. So, a couple little corn cobs still in here. That's pretty cool. So there's evidence of further structures all the way down. There's foundations here. This whole thing was probably structures, but a lot of it's either crumbled or been busted apart. Well, this was absolutely worth the miles of walking in the sand. This was just incredible. I love seeing all the spots where they had poles coming out of. It's just fascinating. And the ravens are back. I'm gonna chill here for a second. Have something to eat, drink, and then get the hike back. Actually, I'm gonna check out the walls for any rock art, but what an awesome spot. I'm just sitting here in amazement. It's just, I mean, building all this, it took more than a minute, and it took concentrated effort. I mean, there's some attention to detail in these ruins here. It might have been an ongoing process over a long period, but I'm sure with that spring there, this area has been occupied, you name it, thousands of years. I wouldn't be surprised. It's definitely a good spot to build a home base. There's no doubt about that. I wonder if it was seasonal, because winters in here would be a little rough. It would be very cold. I don't know. As always, there's lots to contemplate. Well, I did find, I wouldn't exactly call it art, but there's those scratchings. If the camera can make it out, a grid-like pattern. Let's see here. That's interesting. I see this a lot. As a matter of fact, I see it everywhere. Yeah, the camera can make out the scratchings. Definitely a grid. It extends up this way, going horizontal, vertical. Interesting. As I'm walking out, I found here are more corn cobs here. Give you an idea how big that is. Yeah, their corn wasn't very big at all. But their life revolved around it. Yep, that's an old corn cob right there. There's another one. Yeah, very intriguing. I am actually wondering where they were farming corn at around here. Up top, down below, I don't know. They obviously were, yeah, I don't know. Can't, it's just interesting to think about. Well, all right. Now's the fun part, getting back.
All right, well, I made it back to my other canyon. This is my descent point back down. So it's not a bad walk. I don't know. It's like 8, 9, 10 miles, whatever, in the sand. It's a grinder for sure, but it's well worth it. So that was very impressive Ancestral Puebloan ruins. No doubt dwellings, probably granaries, and a Kiva sunk there in the floor. You know, people ask, you know, were they hiding from something? I don't think they were in a case like that. I don't think they built that there to hide from anything. I think they were very adept in their environment and they knew what worked. And I mean, a big alcove like that's obvious shelter. Then they built the ruins in it, their own shelters. Inside the shelter, there was a spring there. I don't think they were hiding from anything there. I think it was just a very awesome place to have your house. That's how I look at it anyway. And if they were hiding from something, I don't know, it just doesn't seem. A lot of the cliff dwellings pull up the ladders and what, wait. It's just, you run out of food, run out of water, soon enough they're going to starve you out anyway. I don't know, it's just my speculation, that's all. But I don't think that area where I was just at was built to hide from anything. I think it was just, I don't know, that was an awesome place, no doubt about that. So thank you very much for watching. There's lots more content on the way. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. That helps the channel tremendously. It is free. Take care, folks. We'll see you next time. D-Rock out. Adios.